If you're a fan of red velvet cakes, then this recipe is just for you. It is very soft, fluffy, and melts in the mouth. The recipe is found in the description box below, so guys, make sure you check it out. So first things, we're going to line our pan with butter and parchment paper and keep aside. Then we go on to measure and sieve our dry ingredients. I'm using a 1/8 inch cake tin recipe and a half, so the recipe and a half of it. I'll go on to put the recipe in the description box for a single 8-inch cake tin. Right here, I'm sieving the flour. You remember, sieving is a method of separating dirt from your flour, and an additional benefit is to fluff things up. So we go on to add sugar and salt. Give this a good mix and keep aside. Some recipe actually contain cocoa powder. In time, I'll be putting that recipe here on YouTube for you guys, so watch out for it, guys. The next step is to combine the wet ingredients. Here I have my bowl. Into my bowl, I'll go on to break 3 large eggs at room temperature. Make sure to watch out for eggshells, guys. It's very, very important, because biting into eggshells is no fun business at all. Just try and keep them out. You can whisk the eggs first before adding the other wet ingredients, although I love to mix them all together at the same time. Whichever sits well with you, it's fine. To my eggs, I'm adding 3/4 cup of vegetable oil, 1½ cup of buttermilk. Take note, you can make the buttermilk at home. It consists of 8 tablespoons of dry milk, 1 cup of water, and 1 tablespoon of white vinegar, and leave to rest for about 30 minutes. I'm adding 1½ teaspoon of preservatives. I'm using rum, of which you can replace with orange zest. I'll go on to add 1½ teaspoon of red food coloring and 1½ teaspoon of vanilla flavor, or any flavor of choice. You can use your milk zest flavor, strawberry flavor, whichever is okay for you. This cake is for house use consumption, so I'm using my vanilla. Give this a good mix until you get a uniform texture. When that is achieved, I'll go on to combine the dry and wet ingredients. I'll be doing this in 3 batches. You might want to fold your batter, but do not overmix in order not to activate the gluten in the flour. The final step in this recipe is introducing the baking soda and white vinegar. So in a separate bowl, I'll put in 1½ teaspoon baking soda and 1½ teaspoon white vinegar. Oh, I love the sizzling sound that this makes. So we're going to give this a good mix and put it in our batter. After that, I'll rinse the bowl with 3/4 cup of room temperature water and pour it in the batter. Then I'll give this a good mix until everything is properly incorporated. I'm distributing this batter approximately evenly into 2 8-inch cake tins. After which, I'll go on and pop this in the oven for 45 minutes to bake at a temperature of 150 degrees. Now, the big question: how do you know when your cake is ready? Well, you pierce a toothpick or a skewer while holding straight into the center of the cake. If the toothpick comes out completely dry or just with some little particles of cakes on it, then your cake is ready. So here we have it. Our cakes are well baked and out of the oven. We have 2 8-inch cake tins, and this is our red velvet. Isn't this beautiful? This is so beautiful. It is fluffy, it is soft, and it is super delicious. You can go on to cover this with buttercream or fondant, and you could even make your parfait with this recipe.